Hello, home care family. How you doing? This is Chris, and today I wanted to talk to you about the employee handbook and how it's important to us over here at Affinity Home Care. And I'm not going to go over all the details, but I'm going to go over all the highlights where I think is super important. And at the end of this, I'd like you to have your signature and make sure that you sign that. So if you can just bear with me, I'm going to share screen with you and go over the details so that way you understand that when you are overlooking the handbook, how to navigate it and what's most important in it. Okay, so. Right. So our employee handbook, what we usually do is we have an app. So and the app has all different type of buttons on here, and this navigates you to make sure that to guide you in the right direction. So over here in our employee handbook, we would just click on it, and don't worry, you'll have this link, and we'll send it to you. But here's a table of contents over here in the very front page. And a little welcome letter letting you know that, hey, when you start working with us and the process of when actually you get to the point where you go to the home, we're going out and doing an assessment. And the assessment is going to be based on getting the right centered care plan so you understand exactly what's going on in the home. A lot of home care companies have a problem with actually going out and telling all the caregivers exactly what are the details of what's going on so you know what the environment is. I always say that we need to make sure that we make you look good and you make us look good. So in order for us to make you look good, when you go in and shine, is that we need to let you know exactly what the details are so you can go in there and be so confident. So, and then after we go out and do an assessment and we have a signed service agreement, we're going to go ahead and call you and talk to you about that and see what your availability is so that way we can take care of that family as soon as possible. The highest level of care that we're always looking for is which is the certain characteristics that we're looking for in a caregiver to have compassion, dignity, and respect is part of our mission and of who we are at Affinity over here. A lot of your clients will have dementia. You can see that the statistics is continually growing every single year. So that's just one condition you could read right here, but there's a lot of other conditions that we take care of, like Alzheimer's, Parkinson's, MS, stroke, CHF, COPD, diabetes, and the list goes on. But we do specialize in senior care, and dementia is definitely going to be one of those things that we're going to always constantly educate you on. There are some tips and some resources that we give you, especially with Alzheimer's and the type of communication and some tips about that, redirection and diverting your client, and reassuring them and encouraging them and reinforcing what you say, and not taking things so personal. And so and then the repetition of comments or behaviors that they have and how you handle that. Keeping the client safe is number one. And you always have to put aside yourself when you're a caregiver, and you have to put the client centered first, of course. We will continue to, if you see, go down the page, more and more tips about dementia and examples. Okay, so please read these. It's important. Okay, and so we spent a lot of time on this. And the common medical problems, like I listed before, and what our common goals is to improve the quality of life of our clients with the activities of daily living that they need. The high blood pressure clients, diabetes clients, client who has arthritis, who complains about pain, COPD, where they complain about breathing, and then cancer, where they can have pain or poor nutrition or infection, or and helping them with all their ADLs. And usually cancer can be seen in the brain, the colon, the ovaries, blood, prostate, lungs, urinary continence and incontinence in general. They making a bowel movement. Either they go in the toilet, or they go into their brief, or they go into their commode. Those are usually the three type of scenarios as well too. Anything outside of what you think that the client has, usually the doctor is involved, and he could tell us and make a diagnosis. Pneumonia, Parkinson's disease, MS. Just again, some of the conditions and some examples, and what is the condition, so you can read about it to have a good understanding. Part of what you do is growing and learning, and that's what I want to do for you, is make sure that you have the right education and resources to be the best you can be on the field. As you keep scrolling down, you're going to see some medical abbreviations in case we ever use that in anything that we do. And then part of the home safety assessment is the medical equipment and assisted devices. So if any of these equipments that you see that are not in the home and they need them, you need to call me right away so I can get those in the home. And I do an assessment to make sure we get them there always as possible. A wheelchair, a walker, a cane, a gate belt, some grab bars, looking in the shower and seeing if there's a shower chair or removable shower head, possibly some grab bars. Is there, and these are the things that we make recommendations for family members as well too. And some suggestions to go on YouTube, and some things to look up too as well, are good videos, so that way you can continue to grow. We do have a Hoyer lift, and we have a Hoyer lift video. We will be sending to you as well too. So infection control is also in the other side. Infection control is including COVID. COVID-19 is part of our lifestyle now, and things that we have got going on. I'll go into the COVID policies later in another video. Looking for bed bugs. Again, infection control, protective type of equipment like gloves and masks and gowns. We're going to try to constantly replenish you. And if you're running low, you call the office and let us know. As you keep scrolling down, the rights and abuse and the neglect. Clients can be sometimes verbally or physically, and we need to report that right away. We do have an incident report. We have an incident report system, and so when there is an incident, you report it to us. We send you our incident report link via your mobile phone. You fill that out, and then we will contact all parties to make sure that we can get a good common ground of understanding of what the situation is, so we can kind of move forward, always moving forward. And some resources like our DHS and womenslaw.org, Administration on Aging, National Centers of Elder Abuse. These are just sites that you can have for resources for that to help you and get some tips. More about dementia and Alzheimer's here in education and reading it, and certain scenarios that other people go through. Your medical dispose of a medical waste, and that means that, like, for example, is that if you're giving insulin and you prick the finger, where do you put the actual pen or the Sharpie port? You're gonna concentrate on throwing in a separate piece of garbage, not the one that you're gonna use in the kitchen. Okay, so concentrate on that. Though you put it in typically a carton, cut the top very top enough to be able to fit the sharp item in. One thing that sticks in my mind is also, we're talking about is waste is the garbage. If there's a garbage can in the kitchen or in other rooms, there needs to be a separate one that you're going to put your brief in the bed pads and all that. Especially during a bowel movement, do not leave that in the home. You got to make sure that you throw it in the garbage can, but first put it in a garbage bag, tie it up, and then take it out right away. You're more about if you keep scrolling down, more about disposables, and then the general guidelines and activities to do with clients. So these are just examples of activities and things you could bring up and play with them and enjoy your company with them, and whoever it is closest to you in your life. You want to treat them the same. It wants to enhance their social activities. Playing games with them. If you keep scrolling down, there's just more examples for you to show you value of how much we really truly want you to stay busy when you're there and concentrate on them and find out exactly what they like to do, not what you like to do. Sometimes what you like to do is not going to be something that they want, or some clients can even verbally tell you that too as well. So tread slow. the client daily routine. This is an example of like if you went to work from 8 o'clock and you left it from 8 p.m. It's a 12-hour shift. Here's an example of keeping yourself busy. This is kind of a schedule, a tentative schedule, just to show you how the day actually can fly by. HIPAA we go by. It's important to understand that HIPAA is a protective for the information that's given out. And also too is the forms that we have that we sign are HIPAA approved, and that we're not crossing any type of HIPAA guidelines at all, and we really adhere to that, and we want to concentrate on you too as well. If there's a family member not part of the power of attorney group or anything like that, you can't really tell them anything about the person's care at all. And then home workers should avoid these common mistakes, and these are a list of them. Please read them. These are important. And then some more YouTube clips and some topics that talking points. And the last but not least is the Heimlich maneuver and understanding what the Heimlich maneuver is. If you don't know what the Heimlich maneuver is, you need to call the office and we can go over it step by step with you. See here. Yep. And then at the end of this, we're going to do is we're going to sign our employee handbook, and then you're going to ship that on over to us. Okay. Part of the onboarding of our company is reading this and looking at it and use as a reference. And that's all I got for you today until our next video. And so I appreciate you and your time. And I look forward to seeing you and this next year. God bless.